So let me introduce our first speaker. So I live in Montpelier, Vermont, and another thing we see in our work at the Council on Rural Development is that you have local elected officials that really run the spectrum. At one extreme, let's say, is a local elected official whose sort of default response when someone comes to them with an idea, unfortunately, their default response is no. We all probably know some elected officials who have that attitude. Then in the middle ground is elected officials who, when given a good idea, they say, well, prove it, do it, go for it, make it happen, and they kind of sit back with their arms crossed. Then third are those local leaders who say yes. Not only yes, but how can I help you get that done? But then there's a fourth category of local leader, which is the one who's coming up with their own ideas and figuring out how to make them happen. We have a mayor in Montpelier, Ann Watson, who falls into that fourth category. And she particularly falls in that fourth category around climate and energy issues. She is a fierce leader, and so I want to invite Ann up to share a story from the city of Montpelier.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ann Watson. I'm actually going to be sharing a story about an idea that I did not come up with, but was happy to champion for someone else. This past summer, I was approached by the director of Green Mountain Cemetery. So he sent me an email and said, we at the cemetery have switched to using electric trimmers, and we love them. And we use them a lot around thousands of monuments in our cemetery, and we think the city of Montpelier should be switching to electric trimmers. And I, of course, was on board. I mean, we need to be electrifying everything as it's a more renewable source. So I said, well, this is a great idea, but it's one thing for me as the mayor to say, we're just going to switch to electric trimmers, done. But it's something else if the people who are using them are on board. So he had wanted to do a demo for me, and I said, well, why don't we bring together some employees from the rec department for this demo, because we need them to buy in to this idea. So we got together over the summer at a little park in Montpelier, and we weed whacked some bushes and benches, and the employees of the rec department not only found that they were equal in performance to their gasoline trimmers, but they had one other advantage that they recognized right away. Who has ever been in a meeting in the middle of summer with the windows open and suddenly there's the hum of weed whackers or electric mowers or whatnot, or have been woken up at 7 o'clock in the morning by electric trimmers? The rec department does get calls to say, with complaints really, to say, we're trying to have this meeting, can you please stop trimming so we can have our meeting? And so they realized that by switching to electric trimmers, which are significantly quieter, that was actually going to increase their capacity to do this work throughout the day. So they were immediately on board, and then they told their bosses. I went to the city manager and said, we just need to make the switch. The employees are on board, and it was pretty much a no-brainer. The city manager said, well, we can change our equipment purchasing policy. That'll be pretty straightforward, and it was basically done. So for us, it was an administrative change. It was just about that simple. For other places, it might take a vote of the select board or of the council to change your equipment purchasing policy or your equipment plan in your city. But that has been an easy switch for us, and happy to provide context for anybody. I mean, as Jared would say, the cemetery commissioner, or the cemetery director, was a man with a tambourine, and so I'd be happy to pass along information if that's helpful. All right, thank you so much.